James Maclaren Cobban is one of the authors on whom I can find virtually no personal information. He was born in Aberdeen in 1849, studied to become a Presbyterian minister at New College, London, but had to abandon his studies for reasons I could not ascertain. In 1881 he married Harriet Bottomley and died in 1903. The Tyrants of Kool-Sim seems to be the most outrageous work of Cobban's, and is a sequel to a seemingly pure adventure novel with no supernatural or fantastical trimmings called The White Kite. It deals with the rescue operation of notorious adventurer Tom Mallison by his sister and her friends. Though the book starts out written out in a rather simplistic way and focuses on a pair of schoolboys trying to mount their own hopelessly naive expedition to save Tom Mallison, after a chapter or two the boys mostly retreat backwards to the status of background characters and the principal focus is directed elsewhere. I'm not sure if it's a coincidence or if Cobban decided to abandon his primary focus on the boys as main leads as he wrote, but one does notice an increase in the quality of writing once the attention is focused on adult characters. The ostensible leader of this expedition is one Captain Betterton, who follows the trail of Tom Mallison to Algeria and discovers him in an almost inaccessible country, whose only entrance is a deadly gorge full of poisonous flowers, inside of a land populated by pygmies called Kool-Sim. There Tom had been relegated to playing the role of a statue of the sun god. All is well and good until the party meet aristocracy and king, the Jewish features of which are noted by Betterton, along with their love of counting, lacking any culture and having acquired control of the land via loans. Worse, these Jews inbred with the local pygmies have blood that is so toxic it literally became lethal poison. The implications are not in any way outweighed when Betterton says they are Jews, of course, and like Jews everywhere, they came to trade and stay to rule. The idiocy of this statement is immediately apparent to anyone who has any knowledge about world history, but I digress. Later still, after the local Arabs and pygmies have managed to overthrow the king, they replace him with Abdallah, the son of the only man to have previously escaped the land of Kool-Sim. Tom Mallison then tells Abdallah to exterminate every last one of the nobles related to the king he can find, because, however humble to begin with, they will arise again with as much destructive power as ever. It is the way of all their kind, therefore spare them not wherever thou findest them. Oh, and when the English party run into the survivors of the court who try and kill them with poison darts, they throw them in the lake like rats. Finally, the image of the king on the title doesn't bode well in hindsight either. It's rather a shame that Cobban had to basically marinate the text in racist overtones because as an adventure novel dealing with the fantastic, it's actually fairly well written and readable, despite the fact that he couldn't be bothered to put in an actual world building, so that the pygmies of Kool-Sim just have legends taken from the Bible very slightly altered as their own native mythology.